Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and today's car is a 2010 Volkswagen Golf R. This is the four-wheel drive, turbocharged, 2-liter, 270 horsepower, floppy paddle version of the Golf. These things, if you haven't seen them, are fantastic. I am a huge fan of the Volkswagen Golf R, having owned a Golf R32, a Mark IV previously, and that being one of my favorite cars of all time. I am always super happy to see one of these cars, and this is no exception. This one is very clean and very nice. Bought from auction here in Japan on a direct auction purchase for a customer from the UK. 60,000 kilometers on here. You might think, we got all Golf R's in England, we don't need to import them. The answer to that is no. Japan has all of the best Euro cars. You want an RS4, you want an RS6, you want an AMG or BMW M car, or a Golf R like this. Get them here. Low mileage, reasonable prices, extremely good condition, because most Japanese people, especially Japanese people who buy Euro cars, maintain them quite well. Okay, 270 horsepower out of this engine. I haven't had a chance to drive this engine in this car. I have heard these engines are fantastic. They're a development over the 1.8T, and they give you better torque, better power all across the range, and people tend to love them. They're also very good for tunability if you want to get into that, but I feel like 270 horsepower in this car is a very good amount of power. I am a huge believer that there is such thing as too much power in cars. You can have a lot of fun in a car that has a medium amount of power, and that's what I would consider this car. Of course, compared to the regular Golfs, it is much faster, much louder, much stiffer, more fun to drive. It's not super fast until you want to tune it. Okay. So this here is the auction inspection sheet, and I'll go over this. This is the information given to us from the auction at the time of purchase that tells us kind of the defects of the car and whatnot. So here we go, a 2010 Volkswagen Golf R. It's an auction grade 4C, the C being the interior grade. I think is a little bit harsh, but I think it's due to the saggy headliner, which is actually quite minor in this one compared to most of them. We'll say the Japanese one is down on power by a few horsepower because it's considered a hot environment. And as such, it's a little bit detuned. The North American one's got even more detuned. And actually, I didn't even know that they had these in North America until I read about this. The Mark VI was sold there for 1 year in the US, and Canada got it as well. But the US one was detuned even more, like 256 horsepower instead of 270. Anyway, back to this. Original black, 60,600 kilometers. That is authentic. Comes with leather. Some of the best seats ever. TV, Navi, power steering, power windows, and airbag. So it says seats wear, headliner saggy, underside surface rust. Nothing I would worry about, especially for a Volkswagen from Japan. Very little rust on cars here. Winter tires, wheels scratched, and then here we have A2 and A2 on these two. I'll point those out. They're the biggest areas of damage. Front bumper scuff is only on the underside, so it's not really noticeable. So let's take you for a tour around the Golf. The Golf is cool because it is very, very good as a daily driver, but it still has those sporting pretensions. Anyone who has had a raw sports car knows they can be difficult to live with after you are done being a kid. So after about 22 or 23 years old, maybe 25 for some people, the hard cars like a Miata on race suspension, it's not something that is desired by most adults as a daily. Sure, you can have a car like that as your fun car, but something that you're going to drive around with your family and your kids, you need something respectable. Not so much respectable, you need something that you can live with, right? And the Golf is exactly that. This is a perfect family car for somebody who wants to get into a sporting car that you can live with as a family car too. I don't think that there are many other cars that can do it as well as this one does. Sure, the RS4 and stuff like that, but that's a heck of a lot more expensive than this is. And so great value for money, good build quality, reliability of electronics is a little hit and miss. It is a Volkswagen after all. Expect to do a little bit of servicing. But yeah, the looks of it, the performance, and ooh, that interior. Let's have a quick little beauty shot of this.
Want to see us having fun in Japan? Go check out our new channel. Link in the description.
It's kind of like an 80s song to go along with it, even though it's not an 80s car. Oil cooler in here. What do we have in here? Nothing. It's a pretend vent, but a real vent for the oil cooler. Okay, damages. Headlights, faded, and micro cracks. You can't repair those. These need to be replaced. One of our lenses on the camera's broke, so I had to use an old one. So if this one doesn't look as good, that's why. This side, looking fantastic. It's basically perfect. Okay? The wheels are work wheels, and I think that they do just fine. I especially like them with the Volkswagen center badge in them because they look like something you could have gotten on the car when it was new, but they're not. They're also made in Japan. They're forged. That's a stock exhaust. I think they sound pretty good. I kind of want my cars to sound a little bit better than pretty good. It is a valved exhaust, and again, I haven't driven it at higher RPM, so I don't know exactly what it sounds like, but I know the engine. I've driven it in other cars. R badge, subtle and fun. I like the taillights. They have this like light up loop on the sides. It looks like the Japanese character for So whenever I see these driving, I think about that. Okay, damages here. We got minor scratch here. A pretty big scratch. They called this an A2. It's shallow, but it's not a shallow scratch. It's deep enough to go down to the undercoat, but it's no deeper than that. Like if you ran your finger down this, you don't catch your finger on anything. You would need to repaint that in order to repair it. Kind of an issue. It is among the only issues on the car. The other A2 up here, so this gives you the range of what an A2 is like, are these longer scratches, but shallow enough you'd be able to polish these ones out. So you can see here and here. Okay. Okay, something about the four-wheel drive in this car. This car has four-wheel drive and traction control. It's a Halidex four-wheel drive system that was invented by Volvo. Volkswagen uses it for all of their front-wheel drive based four-wheel drive systems. It will only kick in when it slips, but you have traction control as well. If you are driving this in the winter and you're worried about slippage and stuff like that, I recommend turning the traction control off. Golf. Perfect packaging for the amount of space that you have inside. I feel like they did market research to find out how much packaging a family typically needs and put it into the Golf. I think it's perfect. You can fit a larger amount in here than you think. You remove this, you can stack it all the way to the top, and you can push those seats down if you need even more space. Open up here. I'm not sure if this is a joke, but it came with golf balls. Space saver spare. It's not a run flat, which is nice. Okay, and very clean and nice and good smell for the interior. I love that. Let's go now to the back seats, and the back seats together with the front seats, very sporty, but still very easy to live with. I'm really liking this plastic that has a look of like etched aluminum, and then you get a leather elbow pad there and half leather seats, so leather and suede combination. These back ones have some pretty decent bolstering in them, so if Dad is going to be driving a little bit faster than normal, it'll hold people in. Very nice. Just love the white stitching on the black leather with the suede. Decent amount of space, maybe a little bit less than the Golf R because you have these big fiberglass seat backs. And then infinitely adjustable so you can get just the right amount of tilt. I prefer that. Unless you have two different drivers and then you have to be rolling that with your hand every time someone gets in and out. That sounds creaky. Can't get the perfect car, can you? Cup holders here. They hold on pretty tight, and so I think that's good, but they do look... Kids can find a way to spill with those. By the way, it does have ISOFIX. If you don't know what that is, you probably don't care. If you do know what it is, you'll be glad it has it. Front seats. And this is where the magic happens. Sitting inside this feels way more special than you would think from a Volkswagen Golf. It feels more special in here than many of the very special cars that we buy. Okay, power windows, power folding mirrors. And here we go. Steering wheel, flat bottom, perforated, and excellent looking. And grippy. It's like, it's big around the hands, which is a Volkswagen thing. And once you start appreciating that kind of steering wheel, it's hard to go back to other steering wheels without thinking, oh, I want that Volkswagen steering wheel. The shift knobs do the same thing in the manual Golfs as well. Bigger shift knob and rounder shift knob. And you just get used to them. Those seats, they have the belt holes in them. And the look of them with the thin but tall bolsters, they're very comfortable. Vehicle hasn't been smoked in, no bad smells. And needs a vacuuming, but otherwise quite clean and good. I'm very happy with that. Let's go ahead and sit in it. By the way, something used to be stuck on here. I think it was a protector for the sill, but now the foam is just stuck onto it. And by the way, Golf R skid plates, or scuff plates, pardon me. This is all original. I'm digging the chrome accents around the air vents. CD player. What's that, a microphone? Weird. Navigation system in here. You can maybe reprogram it, but I wouldn't count on it. I'm not too sure about that, honestly. And then climate control AC, as well as heated and cooled seats for driver and passenger. Okay. Comfort or sport suspension, traction control off button, and then shift yourself with these carbon fiber inserted paddles. Okay, shift really quick. 0 to 60, I think, is somewhere in the 5.6 second range. Cup holders here with a little Volkswagen logo in the center. That's quite adorable. The attention to detail is really nice. This looks like a bottle opener. It is. Supporting drunk driving. Weird. Auxiliary in and a armrest. You can actually set this to different heights and it clicks in. Pull it up all the way and down, and you're back down. There is a audio in cable input here. I think it's proprietary. Okay. Yes, I like it. I like the Golf R very much. If you looked at this car and thought, I need to get me one of those, maybe you're in Canada. You can't import these to the US yet, but maybe you're in Canada and you want one of these, hit us up. Right now is the right time to buy them. They're just barely legal now. Japan has plenty of them, and you will stand out in the Volkswagen circles in Canada because the Golf R is certainly a good car. That's all for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.